1. All the drummers of Pearl Jam. 2. Matt Chamberlain exits Pearl Jam after 27 years as drummer, band's emotional farewell. 3. Matt Chamberlain's farewell to Pearl Jam after 27 years. Music news. 4. Matt Chamberlain leaves Pearl Jam after 27 years, full story and statements. 1. All the drummers of Pearl Jam. Ever wondered how a single rock band could cycle through drummers like a revolving door? Pearl Jam's story behind the kit is as dramatic as a Hollywood script, and Matt Chamberlain's recent exit just threw the plot into overdrive. The legendary drummer, who anchored the band's live shows and studio magic for 27 years, stunned fans by announcing his departure without warning. But here's where it gets controversial. Could the band's relentless touring schedule, creative clashes, or even their anti-corporate ethos have driven drummers away? Let's dive into the rhythm section's roller coaster ride, and ask whether Pearl Jam's drumming changes are a badge of honor or a recipe for chaos. Chamberlain's farewell message was heartfelt, thanking the band and fans for a career-defining journey. The band, in turn, praised him as a powerhouse who shaped their sound for nearly 3 decades. Yet his exit raises burning questions. Why now? Will he continue making music? And who will step up to the drum riser next? The answer lies in Pearl Jam's history, a timeline so tumultuous, it's like a Spinal Tap episode waiting to happen. When Chamberlain joined in 1998, he was their 5th drummer in just 8 years. That's right, before he became a fixture, Pearl Jam had already cycled through 4 drummers, each with their own saga. Dave Krusen, the original drummer, was there for their earliest days but left due to personal struggles. His story is a cautionary tale. Krusen's alcohol addiction led to his departure in 1991, and he later admitted, "I had to accept it and move on with my life." Yet he returned for a symbolic performance at their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, proving the band's bond runs deep. Then came Matt Chamberlain, who lasted just weeks before chasing a gig on Saturday Night Live. His brief tenure? A footnote immortalized in the iconic Alive music video. Next up was Dave Abbruzzese, whose explosive energy clashed with the band's brooding vibe. Famed for his Bonham-esque chops, he was fired over philosophical differences, a decision he called an injustice in a fiery Facebook rant. And Jack Irons, the Chili Peppers' former drummer who helped launch Pearl Jam by recommending Eddie Vedder, eventually bowed out due to exhaustion from life on the road. Chamberlain's arrival in 1998 seemed to stabilize the lineup, but even he couldn't escape the band's quirks. He admitted to initially playing way too fast and studying the styles of his predecessors to fit in. Yet his departure now feels like a seismic shift. Could Pearl Jam's anti-establishment ethos, think their legendary feud with Ticketmaster, have made it harder to retain drummers who didn't share their values? Or is this just the natural evolution of a band that's never played by the rules? The real question is this: are these drumming changes a strength, keeping Pearl Jam's sound fresh and unpredictable, or a weakness, signaling instability? What do you think? Share your take in the comments. Should bands prioritize consistency or embrace the chaos of reinvention? And if you were the next Pearl Jam drummer, would you take the gig knowing the history? Let the debate begin. 2. Matt Chamberlain exits Pearl Jam after 27 years as drummer, band's emotional farewell. Imagine being a part of one of the most iconic rock bands of our time, only to have your journey come to an end after nearly 3 decades. This is the reality for Matt Chamberlain, the longtime drummer for Pearl Jam, who has announced his departure from the band after 27 incredible years. But here's where it gets interesting: neither Chamberlain nor the remaining members of Pearl Jam have disclosed the reason behind his exit, leaving fans and music enthusiasts alike wondering what could have led to this shocking decision. And this is the part most people miss: the intricate history and evolution of Pearl Jam's lineup, which has seen its fair share of changes over the years. Before Chamberlain joined the band in 1998, Pearl Jam had already cycled through several drummers, including Dave Krusen, Matt Chamberlain, Dave Abbruzzese, and Jack Irons. By the time Chamberlain came on board, the band had already released 5 studio albums, including their debut album 10, Versus, Vitalogy, No Code, and Yield. His first album with Pearl Jam, Binaural, was released in 2000, and he went on to play on all of the band's subsequent studio albums, including their most recent release, Dark Matter, in 2024. But Cameron's musical journey didn't start with Pearl Jam. Prior to joining the band, he spent over a decade playing with Soundgarden, one of the most influential bands of the 1990s, and collaborated with Chris Cornell and other members of Pearl Jam on the side project Temple of the Dog. He also explored other musical ventures, including a collaboration with Zach Hill and Janet Weiss on the album Drumgasm, and released his own solo album, Cave Dweller, in 2017. And, more recently, he teamed up with Chris Novoselic, Kim Thale, and others to release an album titled Third Secret. As a member of Pearl Jam, Cameron was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017, and he will be officially inducted as a member of Soundgarden later this year. In a heartfelt statement, Cameron expressed his gratitude to his former bandmates, including Eddie Vedder, Stone Gossard, Mike McCready, and Jeff Ament, for welcoming him into the band and providing him with a lifetime of memories and experiences. Pearl Jam also released a statement, praising Cameron's contributions to the band and wishing him well. But here's the question on everyone's mind: what's next for Matt Cameron? Will he continue to pursue his solo career, or will he join another band? And what about Pearl Jam? How will they move forward without their longtime drummer? These are the questions that will be on everyone's mind as we wait to see what the future holds for these music legends. But one thing is certain: Matt Cameron's legacy as a drummer and musician will live on, and his contributions to Pearl Jam and Soundgarden will never be forgotten. So, we have to ask, what do you think about Matt Cameron's departure from Pearl Jam? Are you sad to see him go, or are you excited to see what's next for the band? Let us know in the comments. And, as we reflect on Cameron's incredible career, we can't help but wonder, what's the most memorable Pearl Jam or Soundgarden song that features Matt Cameron's drumming? Share your thoughts and opinions with us, and let's keep the conversation going. 3. Matt Cameron's farewell to Pearl Jam after 27 years. Music news. In a move that has left fans and the music world reeling, Matt Cameron has officially stepped down as the drummer of Pearl Jam after nearly 3 decades, marking the end of an era for one of Seattle's most legendary bands. But here's where it gets emotional: Cameron's departure isn't just a loss for Pearl Jam, it's a significant shift for the entire grunge and rock community, given his dual legacy with Soundgarden. Let's dive into the story behind this monumental change. Cameron, a San Diego native, became a cornerstone of Seattle's music scene, seamlessly bridging two of its most iconic bands. His journey began with Soundgarden in 1986, where he remained until their initial disbandment in 1997. Just a year later, he joined Pearl Jam, bringing his unparalleled drumming prowess to the group. Over 27 years, Cameron contributed to 7 Pearl Jam albums, the latest released in 2024, solidifying his role as more than just a drummer. He was a creative force. His ability to balance both bands showcased his versatility and dedication to the craft. In a heartfelt Instagram post, Cameron reflected on his time with Pearl Jam, "After 27 fantastic years, I have taken my final steps down the drum riser for the mighty Pearl Jam. Much love and respect to Jeff, Ed, Mike, and Stone for inviting me into the band in 1998 and for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime, one filled with friendships, artistry, challenges, and laughter. I am forever grateful to the crew, staff, and fans the world over. It's been an incredible journey. More to follow. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart." His words underscore the deep bonds formed within the band and the profound impact the experience had on him. But here's where it gets controversial: Cameron's exit raises questions about the future of Pearl Jam. With his departure, fans are left wondering, can the band maintain its signature sound without one of its longest-standing members? And this is the part most people miss: Cameron's dual role in both Pearl Jam and Soundgarden's reunion, 2010 to 2017, following Chris Cornell's tragic passing, made him a unique bridge between two eras of grunge. His absence will undoubtedly leave a void, both musically and symbolically. For beginners in the music scene, Cameron's story is a testament to the enduring power of collaboration and artistry. His ability to thrive in two major bands highlights the importance of adaptability and passion in a career spanning decades. As we reflect on his legacy, one can't help but ask, who will fill his shoes, and how will Pearl Jam evolve from here? What are your thoughts on Cameron's departure? Do you think Pearl Jam can continue to thrive without him, or is this the beginning of a new chapter for the band? Let's spark a conversation in the comments, agree, disagree, or share your favorite Cameron-era Pearl Jam track. 4. Matt Cameron leaves Pearl Jam after 27 years, full story and statements. Imagine being part of one of the most iconic bands in rock history for nearly 3 decades, only to decide it's time to move on. That's exactly what Matt Cameron, the renowned drummer, has done by parting ways with Pearl Jam after an incredible 27-year journey. The news was shared by both Matt Cameron and Pearl Jam through heartfelt statements on social media, leaving fans and fellow musicians alike reflecting on the impact he had on the band's history. But here's where it gets interesting. What does this mean for the future of Pearl Jam, and how will Matt Cameron's departure influence the music world? Let's dive in and explore the details of this pivotal moment in rock music. Matt Cameron posted a poignant message on his social media, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to be part of Pearl Jam since 1998. He highlighted the friendships, artistic collaborations, and the laughter he shared with band members Jeff Ament, Eddie Vedder, Mike McCready, and Stone Gossard. The drummer also acknowledged the band's crew, staff, and fans worldwide, expressing his deep appreciation for the journey they've shared. Pearl Jam, in turn, shared Cameron's statement on their Instagram, adding their own heartfelt message. They celebrated Matt's contributions as a true powerhouse of a musician, both in the band and in his earlier work with Soundgarden and Skinyard. The band acknowledged the significant role he played in propelling their live shows and studio recordings over the past 27 years. It was clear that Matt Cameron's departure would be deeply felt, as he is not only a band member but a friend in art and music. Now, let's take a step back and consider how Matt Cameron became such an integral part of Pearl Jam's story. He joined the band about a year after Soundgarden disbanded in 1997. The story goes that Cameron was working on a record with John McBain and reached out to Stone Gossard, who had a record label called Loose Groove, to discuss potential collaborations. It was then that Eddie Vedder got on the phone and asked him to join Pearl Jam for their upcoming tour, a fill-in for Jack Irons, who had quit just before the tour was set to begin. Cameron took on the challenge, learning the music and eventually becoming a full-time member of the band. He first played on Pearl Jam's 2000 album, Binaural, and has been featured on every release since then. Interestingly, even when Soundgarden reformed in 2010, Cameron continued to be a part of Pearl Jam. As of now, Pearl Jam has only one show booked for the rest of 2025, leaving fans wondering what the future holds for the band. The split raises a question: how will Pearl Jam evolve without Matt Cameron? Will they find a new drummer to fill his shoes, or will they explore different musical directions? The music world is certainly eager to see what's next. And this is the part most people miss: the impact of drummers on the overall sound and energy of a band. Drummers like Matt Cameron are not just musicians, they are the heartbeat of the band, setting the rhythm and tone for every performance. His departure is a reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of music. Now, we invite you to think about this: what makes a drummer truly integral to a band's identity, and how will Matt Cameron's legacy continue to influence Pearl Jam's path forward? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As we look to the future, it's clear that Matt Cameron's time with Pearl Jam has left an indelible mark on rock music, and his contributions will be remembered for years to come.